Similarly, machinability means how easily we can perform machining. How easily we can perform machining. Okay, in this figure you can see machining means, so we are going to remove the extra material from the work part. So this is the work part. With the help of this cutting tool, we are going to remove the extra material. Okay, so machinability is the measure of how easily we can remove the unwanted material from the work part so that we can get the required component. Machinability is the measure of ease of machining, how easily we can do or we can perform machining operation. That is nothing but how easily we can remove the unwanted material or how easily we can remove the extra material in the work part. Okay, so machinability means ease of machining which is judged by. That means this machinability depends on magnitude of the cutting forces. So during machining, cutting tool will exert forces on the work part. Okay, similarly, in reaction to the cutting forces exerted by the tool, even this work part will also exert forces. Okay, so that means there will be forces in machining. One will be, some forces are exerted by tool and some forces are exerted by work part. So in order to in reaction to the forces exerted by the cutting tool. Okay, so here there are forcing acting. Okay, so that is also will decide the machinability, magnitude of the cutting forces. Suppose if so larger forces are required, okay, or if more force is required, so that means the machinability is not good. Okay, so that is the representation of the material or indication of poor machinability. Okay, so if the cutting force required are more, that it denotes poor machinability. Okay, if cutting forces required are lesser, with lesser forces if you are able to achieve material removal process, so then the machinability is good. So then we will consider machinability as good if you are able to achieve material removal with lesser forces, then machinability will be good. Next, level of the cutting temperature. Okay, so in this figure also you can see the application of fluid, cutting fluid. Okay, so why we are going to apply cutting fluid? So anyhow during machining, because of the contact between cutting tool and work part and the forces, okay, there will be generation of heat. So in order to remove heat from the heat generation zone, so we apply cutting fluid. Okay, if we don't apply cutting fluid, then there will be more amount of heat in the machining zone. So then we know the relation between heat and the properties of the material. Okay, so if you don't remove the heat from the machining zone, that may result in change in properties of the work part material and even the cutting tool material. So that is, those are the consequences if you don't apply the cutting fluid. So that means somehow you must be able to reduce the temperature at the machining zone. In order to do that, so we make use of cutting fluids. We apply we supply the cutting fluid to the machining zone and we try to reduce the temperature. Okay, so level of the cutting temperature. If it is possible for us to remove material at low temperatures, okay, that is an indication of good machinability. Okay, if it is possible for us to remove material at low temperature, that is an indication of better machinability or good machinability. Okay, next, wear. So here we are going to consider the tool wear. If tool wear occurs slowly, that means so after some duration or after its prescribed tool life, if it wears, okay, then we consider that as a better machinability or good machinability. If the tool wear occurs quickly in smaller duration, then we say machinability is poor. Okay, or it is difficult to machine the work part. Okay, next, life of cutting tools. Again, so life of cutting tool must be more. Okay, if you get longer life, then that is an indication of good machinability. Okay, surface roughness. Again, if you get smooth surface, that is an indication of good machinability. Chip formation. Again, if favorable chips form during machining process, so that is an indication of good machinability. Okay, so these are the factors which decide how easily you can remove material from the work part. Okay, so and that is will be measured with the help of machinability, or that is an index of all these factors. Okay. Next, as we discussed, improve machinability. Suppose if you want to improve machinability, so then how we can improve the machinability? You have to reduce the cutting forces required for machining. Then you have to reduce the cutting temperature, that is lower the cutting temperature. How we can reduce cutting temperature? With the application of cutting fluid, we can remove heat from the machining zone, so that we are able to reduce the cutting temperature. Then slower tool wear or longer tool life. If we are able to achieve slower tool wear, that will result in longer tool life. Okay, so that is also an indication of better machinability or improved machinability. Next, better surface finish and favorable chip form, but without sacrificing productivity. Okay, productivity is a measure of how quickly you are able to produce products, or with less resources, how easily you can produce a product. That is the about productivity. Okay, so improvement of machinability for a given workpiece requires appropriate selection of cutting tools. Okay, this is also a very important uh, thing that you should know. Okay, so for a particular work part, okay, which cutting tool need to be used? Okay, it depends on, okay, to properties of the material of the work part. Okay, so depending on the work part material, you are going to choose cutting tools. Okay, so there are cutting tools made up of different materials, from cemented carbides to ceramics, even HSS steels. Okay, there are cutting tools made up of different materials that we'll discuss later. Okay, so your selection of cutting tools is based on work part material. Okay, next, optimum selection of the values of the process parameters. In the previous class or in the previous session, we discussed about process parameters. There are three major process parameters. One is cutting velocity. Cutting velocity, it is based on cutting speed. Okay, so that is the cutting velocity. In case of turning operation, okay, so the work part is rotating at a particular speed, or it is rotating. Okay, so that is a measure of cutting velocity. Okay, so next, feed. So it will be measured in terms of some meter or millimeter per minute, that is the feed. Depth of cut, it will be in terms of millimeters. Okay, cutting velocity will be in terms of, so cutting speed will be in terms of RPM, cutting velocity will be in terms of meter per minute. Okay, all those things we discussed in the previous class. Okay, next, other than selection of cutting tools and selection of optimum process parameters, so it also, machinability also depends on proper selection and application of cutting fluid. Okay, so we are going to discuss about, so these things, cutting fluid, cutting tool materials, all those things in next module in detail. Okay, and even we are going to discuss about these process parameters in detail, and we are going to solve some problems or numericals based on this. Okay, in the next module. Okay, next, so this is a gate question. Okay, so read the question and you have to answer in forms. In form, I will create a form. In that question and A, B, C, D, 4 options, you have to choose one. In turning operation, so the surface finish can be improved by decreasing cutting speed, feed per revolution, rake angle, nose radius. Okay, ready with your answer. So I will create a form. So in that you have to enter the answer. Okay, now it is available in charts. You can start answering. So question is there on the slide. This is the question. Okay, for this you have to so answer. Okay, start answering. Okay, so most of you have answered it as feet per revolution, and by mistake I have shown the answer also. Okay, earlier some of you have answered C and then you have changed it. Okay, so in the previous class we discussed about cutting parameters. Okay, and choosing those parameters. Okay, in turning operation, the surface finish can be improved by decreasing. It is not increasing, by decreasing. So cutting speed, feet per revolution, rake angle and nose radius. Okay, correct answer is feet per revolution. Okay, so rake angle we are going to discuss in next topic. Okay, so what do you mean by it and what is its effect on surface finish, all those things we will discuss in next topic. Okay, so the answer is feet per revolution. Okay, next I move on to next topic, that is geometry of cutting tools. Okay, so this is the single point cutting tool. Okay, so this is called as shank and bottom face is called as base. Okay, bottom surface is called as base. This is a single point cutting tool used for performing turning operation that we saw in the previous class. In videos also you have saw, you have see this, you saw this. Okay, so this is the shank and bottom surface is called the base. This surface, this top surface from ear to ear, okay, this is called as face. The another name for face is rake surface. Face is also called as rake surface. Okay, and there are two clearance surfaces. Okay, so that is, one is major flank. This is one clearance surface, and there is another surface that is minor flank. Okay, in any single point cutting tool, so there are three major surfaces that you should aware of. Okay, so one is rake surface, also called as face. So this is the rake surface, it is also called as face. Okay, and there are two clearance surfaces. This is also a clearance surface and this is also a clearance surface. Okay, and this clearance surface is called as major clearance surface or major flank. This is considered as minor clearance surface or minor flank. Okay, so or instead of having a sharp corner, okay, if you have radius, that is considered as nose. Okay, and it is denoted by nose radius. Okay, this is the nose. Instead of having a sharp corner, if you have radii, that is called as nose. Okay, next, so there are two cutting edges. Okay, two major cutting edges. One is this side cutting edge. Okay, so or this is called as major cutting edge. Okay, so this cutting edge is formed by two surfaces. Okay, this is at the intersection of two surfaces. This is one surface, that is rake surface, and major clearance surface. So this intersection will form an edge, that is the side cutting edge, or this is called as major cutting edge. Okay, so there is another edge So that is formed by again rake surface and minor flank or minor clearance surface. Okay, this edge is called as end cutting edge. So this is the major cutting edge and this is the end cutting edge. Okay. For effective and easy machining, the main cutting edges. So here main cutting edges are, this is major cutting edge and this is the end cutting edge. These two are the main cutting edges. Okay, major cutting edge and minor cutting edge are end cutting edge. Okay, so this is one cutting edge and this is another cutting edge. Okay, for effective and easy machining, the main cutting edges of a cutting tool made of any material need to be as sharp as possible. Okay, these two edges must be as sharp as possible. Okay, then only it is possible for you to get smoother finish. Okay, so because of tool wear, okay, so sharpness may decline. Because of that, you may not get better finish. Okay, in order to achieve that, you are not ensure getting good surface finish, so you should have these two cutting edges as sharp as possible. Okay, that is one of the consideration. Next, the cutting edges are developed as the lines of intersection of the three major surfaces. The rake surface, that is this surface, face is also called as rake surface. This is the rake surface, and the two clearance surface. Two clearance surfaces are flank, major flank and minor flank. Or major clearance surface or minor clearance surface. Okay. Now consider this major cutting edge. It is formed by the intersection of rake surface and major clearance surface. Okay, this is the major cutting edge. It is formed by the intersection of two surfaces, that is this face or rake surface and major flank or major clearance surface. Then there is another cutting edge. So this one, okay, minor cutting edge or end cutting edge. So this is formed by the intersection of again rake surface and minor clearance surface. Okay. So next, so we are going to discuss about different types of cutting tools. Okay, so depending on the number of points or number of edges. Okay, so before that, the total performance of any cutting tool depends on the material of the tool. Again, that will decide the properties of the tool. Okay, so again the material of the tool is chosen based on the material of the work part. So ಯಾವ work part machine ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ, ಯಾವ material work part ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ, so we are going to choose the tool material. Okay, the total performance of any cutting tool depends on the material of the tool and its properties. Again, material of the tool means we are considering the properties of the material of the tool. Okay, the sharpness of the cutting edges. So here this is a single point cutting tool. So this is one edge, this is this end cutting edge, this is the major cutting edge. So here you can see this is the, okay, so corner, or here you are going to get the nose. This is the nose, this is major cutting edge and this is minor cutting edge. Okay, in this case this is the major cutting edge, this edge is the major cutting edge and this is the minor cutting edge or end cutting edge. Okay, the sharpness of the cutting edges, the orientation angles of the planes that generate the cutting edges. Okay, so there are different angles, so that we'll discuss in upcoming slides in detail. Okay, so rake angle, relief angle, cutting angles, all those things we'll discuss in detail. Okay, next, cutting tools may be classified according to the number of major cutting edges involved as follows. Single point. Okay, so this is the single point cutting tool. Okay, single point cutting tool. So this is used to perform turning operation, shaping, planing and slotting. Okay, or in lathe machine, shaping, planing, slotting machine and boring. Okay, so we make use of single point cutting tools. Okay, so it will be having a single point and it will be having two edges. So this is called as single point. Okay, but it is having two edges. So this is major and minor edge, cutting edge. Okay. Next, double point. So example for double point cutting tools are drill bits. So these are the drill bits. Okay, these drill bits are used in drilling machine to drill holes in component. If you want to drill hole, so we make use of drill bits, and this tool is used in drilling machine. Next, multi-point cutting tools are more than 2 points. Okay, examples for multi-point cutting tools are, so here in these figures you can see the multi-point cutting tools. So these are used in milling machine. Okay, so that is milling cutters. Then this is used in broaching tools, ops, gear shaping cutters. Okay, so these are the different multi-point cutting tools. Okay, next, so geometry of cutting tool. Okay, geometry of a cutting tool is nothing but, so its angles, various angles involved. Okay, so in a cutting tool, that is called as geometry. Geometry of a cutting tool refers mainly to its several angles or slope of its salient working surfaces and cutting edges. So already we discussed about working surfaces and cutting edges. So that is the rake surface and clearance surfaces, that is major clearance surface and minor clearance surface. They are the three major surfaces of consideration. Okay, and cutting edges in the single point cutting tool, so we consider major cutting edge and minor end cutting edge. Okay, so this is the shank and this is the face. This surface is called as face or rake surface, and this is considered as the clearance surface. Okay, so and this is also a clearance surface. This is the major clearance surface and this is the minor clearance surface. Okay, so here you can see, so angles, rake angle. So rake angles usually they are measured from the rake surface. Okay, rake angle, there are again in rake angle there are different types. Okay, side rake angle, back rake angle, and it can be negative, positive, okay, or neutral. All those things we will discuss in upcoming slides. Okay, so angles means, so two major angles are rake angle. It will be measured from the rake surface, and you are going to consider another reference plane. Okay, you are going to, for rake angle you are going to consider the inclination between the rake surface and a reference plane. Okay, so this is the rake surface and this is the reference plane. So you are considering the inclination between this rake surface and this reference plane. Here also this is the rake surface, inclination between rake surface, and this is the reference plane. So that is the side rake angle. Okay, so other than rake angle, there is another important angle, that is the clearance angle. So clearance angle, you are going to consider clearance surface and finished surface of the work part. This is clearance angles are the angles between the clearance surface and finished surface of the work part. Okay, so in next slide we are going to discuss about it in detail. Okay, so here what you should remember is geometry of cutting tool means it includes various angles. Okay, so and surfaces, cutting edges, okay, and some planes of references. All these are used, okay, so to understand the